Hello, welcome back. The hoist is done, all the bar horse shit is finished, and it's time to go climb a mountain in the middle of the night. Or, I guess, go to a purple store run by a gnome and...
I think the idea is that we're gonna wait till morning, and those two are running an errand.
Okay, so Rin, you and 8 aren't gonna climb you're not gonna climb the mountain, just the two of you. Okay.
I mean, we could, but I really don't think that's a good idea or a smart D&D plan.
Yeah, like
8 doesn't have dark vision.
You could, but climbing mountains at night is not a good proposition.
Both 8 and I are smart enough,
I think,
to recognize that splitting the party and going to do it on our own is a terrible plan.
Yeah, and we don't necessarily have to have a scene at Zablob if you don't like. I just want to buy purple stuff.
I mean, I feel like it's important to have a scene with you and Jewel because we haven't seen the two of you get to hang out together before.
Yeah, this is
and then Rin and 8 can also have a scene. Yeah,
the Jewel Macaria bottle episode that nobody knew they wanted.
I see, even Jewel doesn't want it. All right, so it's night. Night has fallen. It's a warm night. Lots of people are out in the street. Summer is approaching, and you leave the relative safety of the trades ward, heading south for the relative lack of safety of the dock ward. And upon arriving therein, we fade on to the two of you, probably taking Snail Street down through the dock ward towards Fillet Lane. Are you talking while you're walking, or what is set the scene for me here with the two of you?
So I think that initially, at least, and we can move on from this, but Macaria is explaining why that all went out of hand, and that man should have immediately given her what she wanted. And someday she'll have the power necessary to make him regret ever touching her. And she's just going on about it for a minute until Jewel probably do you just let her go?
I think she totally is used to Macaria ranting. She just sort of lets her rant. And then at some point she's just like, if you don't get caught, you get away with more things.
Yes, well, I'm not a...
I mean, was your goal to make him quake with fear, or was it just to get a drink?
Both. I wanted the drink initially, but after he touched me, my goal was to make him quake with fear and fear for his imminent demise.
That does seem reasonable. If you want a drink, just ask me next time.
Okay.
I'm not always going to get you one, but I'd rather that than you get thrown down the portal to the Underdark. That just seems like then you'll definitely die.
From what I know of Loth, I'm sure that I would fit in well down there.
Right,
absolutely positive.
Then the fall might just kill you, and then you wouldn't be able to fit in down there.
Yeah, I looked up on the break. I looked up how much falling damage you would take falling into the yawning portal.
Yeah,
I couldn't find a depth on the yawning portal, so I have to assume it's the maximum amount.
It's lethal.
Terminal velocity. Yeah.
It's probably at least a kilometer down.
10d6.
Yeah.
Is that the most?
Yeah, that's the most you would take. Yeah.
I love it. You eventually get to a high enough level where you can just fall an infinite distance.
Yeah, I would not be 100% dead. 32 is not twice my HP, so I could come back from that potentially.
Sorry, everyone, I was wrong.
Oh, it's 20d6. Okay, roll that again. Then,
okay.
In your hypothetical fall.
20d6. Got it.
God, ever since you started playing that other game.
I would be 100% dead. Yeah.
72 falling damage, which would definitely obliterate you.
I would be really dead. Yes.
Hey, there you go. The FR Wiki says 40 feet in diameter, descending 140 feet, so you'd only take 14d6. Anyway,
so
you could also pay Durnan a gold to have someone lower you in a bucket down into the well. Listen, everybody stop falling down the yawning portal.
I did 14d6 and I got 32 again.
Everybody stop falling. It's not happening.
That was a really bad roll.
Really lucky with that roll.
Yeah. See, Dave's is still 1 HP shy of twice my HP, so I would still be not 100% dead. Close.
Yeah.
Very close.
So as you're walking for the old Zablob shop, you're pondering whether or not you would die if you had fallen
Yes.
down that well. You
I
stared
think that
briefly.
talking about death is a fond pastime of mine.
It's pretty
Cool.
normal. Yeah, we started to debate how likely it would be that you would have just died if he dropped you.
Yeah.
Jewel, you would have died, but you would have landed on your feet and then died. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But if we strap a piece of buttered toast
Right.
to her
You
back,
just spin around forever.
she just spin
Yeah,
forever,
and you
she'll
never land
die.
at all.
Yeah. I wonder if old Zoblob has a potion of feather fall.
Yeah. And so
I mean, if he does,
as
it's
if
probably purple.
as if to herald your arrival, yeah, you walk in into the open corner and you see the strange purple light glowing from the window. The sign, the big elaborate sign saying in fine calligraphy, "Old Zoblob Shop," and then staring from the open window, the stuffed beholder, a purple glow washes out from the window into the street.
Macaria pushes open the door and announces, "I've returned. Do you have more of that? This?" Like she at the air.
So you walk in and just start talking to the empty room.
I mean, is he not there?
You don't see
immediately
him.
to
He's not just
serve
like
me?
standing there.
Ugh. Okay. Yes, I talk to the empty room and then I realize that he's not there. And I
Okay.
say, "Hello?"
And there's like some clattering behind a shelf.
The unprofessionalism.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So yeah, there's some more like rattling, and then after a moment, you see the grayish gnome come out from behind a shelf. He's wearing a leather headband now, and then from the headband extend several wire prongs on which he has hung round stones. And it looks unfinished, this circlet that he's working on. And he's got a jeweler's loop in one eye, and he's holding a pair of pliers. And he sticks his head out and he says, "Huh, customers."
You look different than I remember.
I often find that to be the case.
You have more of that smoke you were smoking. The thing that creates the smoke, not the smoke itself. That would be very temporary.
Oh, what? When?
Last time I was here, don't you remember?
Darling, I barely remember what happened to me this morning, let alone any other day of the week. How I manage to keep this business running at all is a miracle. I do have some nice powdered wigs that I got in just the other day. That's what the ledger says, but I've not been able to find them. You didn't buy them, did you?
No, I sold them to you and you still owe me for it.
Let's take a look. And he waddles over, and his little stones are flopping around on his head. And he waddles over to the desk and he climbs up he's got a step ladder onto a stool, and he stands on the stool and he drops a big purple leather book on the table, and he opens it and starts flipping through its lavender pages with purple ink on them. And he gets to an entry and he's like, wigs. Nope. Says right here, I paid for them already.
You don't remember?
That's why I've the book, dearie.
No, you don't remember that you filled that out and then you remembered that the coins that you gave me were actually a leprechaun's coins and they would turn to wood in the morning and that you still owed me.
He turns and he looks at you, Jewel, as if to be like,
Is she telling the truth?
yeah.
Jewel mostly wants to stay out of it, so she's going to, right as he's turning, just walk away.
Yeah.
And has hopefully just sort of disappeared at that point.
Okay. All right. So yeah, he sees you walk by, and he turns back to you, Macaria, and he says, No.
No, that's
no.
fine. I'm very forgiving of debts, honestly. Just you had a drug last time I was here. You were smoking it in a pipe. Do you have more of that? I'll just take that as recompense and we'll settle this whole thing.
Oh, no, I don't have anything like that here. We don't sell those sorts of things.
You don't have to sell them. Do you have them?
And he like peers. He says, "Who said that?"
My unseen servant.
Yeah, he's like shakes his head and he says, "No, not my sort of business. I sell." And then he reaches under the counter and he pulls out. Let's see. Okay, he reaches under the counter. He says, "I sell," and he pulls out a piece of jewelry, and it's a carved piece of ivory, like a pin, with like gold around the outside, with a very ugly person in profile on it. And he says, "I sell cameos. Yes, this one is of Floon. Would you like to buy that? It's only I don't know, let's say 2 gold."
No, I would not.
And yeah, Jewel, it's like looking. It looks exactly like the one you have.
Huh. She's gonna look for drugs just to help a girl out.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so Makaria, he's holding this like Floon locket, and he looks at it and he says, "Well, it's the wrong color. I haven't gotten around to painting it. So it says on here," and he turns it over. He says, "Made in Flanite jewelry. It's all the rage these days." He puts it down, slides it
No.
towards you.
Do you have anything a bit more macabre?
He looks around. "Oh, nothing more than you, my dear. Throw a coat of purple paint on you, and maybe
Please
someone would
don't.
buy you."
Do you want me
That's
to
called
roll find
prostitution.
drugs?
Sir.
No, he does not appear to have any
What the fuck?
drugs around. No.
How dare? Ugh.
Jewel like pops out from a shelf and she's like, "He doesn't have what you want. I bet someone else in the dock ward would though, if you really want it."
Like 8. Just
All
like,
the way here. You're useless.
that's what my mother always used to say.
She wasn't wrong.
On my way out, I like. If you said it's like a plushie of a beholder in the window,
No, it's like a stuffed beholder.
like an actual beholder.
You're not a biologist, but it certainly looks like it.
Okay, on my way out, I like twing one of the like mobile.
Like, give it a whack and it like
stones on it.
like bobbles. Yeah.
Yeah, I like smack it and then I walk out.
Yeah. So you walk out and he waves. He's like, "Goodbye." Yeah, you walk outside. So meanwhile, Rin and 8, what do you get up to? Do you stay in the tavern? You go somewhere else? Go for a walk? What are you two doing?
I think Rin is more than happy to stay in the tavern for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the amount of time it takes the others to walk all the way to the Zoblub shop.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, 8, what are you?
Rin,
Hmm?
I was wondering, since you don't have the magic yourself for making lights, do you think somebody else would be able to make light as a magic for me?
It's certainly possible, but if you give me enough time, I'm sure I'll be able to make it for you.
Can it be a light that goes forever?
That would be significantly more difficult.
I might just pay for it.
If you think
It's
that's
only-
the best approach.
It's unacceptable to me that there is a situation whereby I have to rely on others holding torches for me. This was not something I was trained for. Therefore, I have come up with the ideal solution to this. which is that light should come from one of the things that I'm already going to be holding.
You understand that relying on someone else is not necessarily a weakness, yes?
No.
In that I help you, and together, the two of us are stronger than we would be separately. And likewise, I could not do many of the things that you are capable of doing. And I rely on you to pursue those avenues. While I understand that you don't want to be blind, obviously that makes a lot of sense. And if you want to find somewhere that you can get a permanent enchantment of light or something of that sort, then we can look around and find something. You have to understand that we are working as a group. You, me, Makaria, Jewel, all of us. And if your only means of engaging something is by yourself, then you'll always lose.
This is an interesting viewpoint. I'll think on it some more. I'm glad I didn't kill you when we met, Rin.
Yes, I'm glad for that as well.
Let's go now.
Yeah. Very well. Like, fold my book up, put it away. Like, stand up, dust myself off a little bit, straighten up, and say, you have any idea where we might be able to find something like this? I assume somewhere in Waterdeep there's a magic district or something, or a shop district at least, Adam?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's
something I would know. I'm just like I don't know how to get.
Yeah, like magic, like where to buy magic items in Waterdeep.
Why don't you just get a lantern?
I have a lantern.
Yeah,
but I don't have a hand for it.
it's not
Why
gonna
don't you
work.
glue it to your head?
It's not
I
how it
don't
works.
want to do that.
But you have to have a hand for a lantern.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
else would you
Yeah.
do with
Can't
it?
put it on a belt or anything.
So this whole time, Malik was keeping a hand free. to
No,
hold on.
Malik's lantern was hanging off the end of his staff. That's why he never attacked with it. It was a walking stick, and the lantern was hanging off of it, so he always had his hand on that.
Yeah, I
Um,
had like casting staff, lantern staff.
Yeah.
And I just went.
Let's see.
The reason I was thinking of this is because I know the components for continual flame cost 50 gold, and I was reading our handy dandy guide, their Waterdeep and Caridian.
Yes, that's what I was looking at.
Yeah, people use continual light on signs like neon to advertise for shops. So I've like seen it everywhere.
That's so cool.
I'm like, yeah, just get that on a sword, easy peasy.
Yeah, I wonder how much that would cost. Like, does anybody remember if does the Dungeon Master's Guide have a like spell per level cost? Because it's like continual flame.
Yeah, second level.
It's a second level spell. It's probably like 100 gold, I think, plus the materials.
What?
Yeah, probably. Spells are expensive, man. Getting to be level 2.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm gonna say. It's the mats. You bring your own mats or you pay for them. It's 150 gold or 100 and the material.
So maybe after like we find this out, he's very.
I think we have a short conversation about like what you actually want to do, and like we go outside and you see like one of the signs or whatever, and you're like, I want to do that, but with my sword or something,
That.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that may be more expensive than you can afford. I could lend you some of the money, I suppose, but I was hoping to put it towards the manor, furniture, comfort.
The manor is very important to me also.
Then
Start owning things.
then
Or have-
perhaps once we return to the Blackstaff with task complete, you might have enough.
Or she could do it for me. She seemed like a powerful enough wizard.
Also, very much a possibility.
If she would do this for any future upgrades I got as well, I would definitely consider joining her faction.
Well, I'm sure the Blackstaff has much to offer. as have many before her and many wizards of her caliber. Strong beyond the means of any mortal, really.
Why are you not a wizard? You seem to admire them so much.
I'm not talented enough for that. Smart enough, studious enough. Never had the training. I've watched a lot of wizardry. I've seen a lot of magic, but never had the opportunity to really practice it myself.
I understand.
Bardic pursuits. It's a lot more natural, comes more naturally to me.
I understand. We're all made a certain way.
I suppose we are made a certain way, but who knows what can change that composition along a road of some sort. Just because you start one way doesn't mean you have to end that way.
I found that gaining experience through combat is the most efficient way for me to improve my skills and gain new abilities.
Practice. It makes perfect, or so they say.
Exactly.
Well, should we head back to the manor and await the others? I assume they're going to want to rest and then in the morning head up the mountain.
Very well.
Cool. All right. Well, everybody take inspiration if you don't have it already.
Yay.
All I've got on crafting magic items is like there's base prices, and
But
then
it's
there's
not
also
really-
spell scrolls for a second level spell. A spell scroll would cost 250 gold.
Yeah, they're not. Nobody's
a
making.
scroll?
Nobody's making a scroll. Yeah, I think it's.
It's the casting of the spell. You're basically
Yeah,
like,
I'm just like I
it
can't
costs
find a
whatever the
different.
wizard wants it to cost, really.
I just can't find another comparison. Is all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Totally,
Like,
yeah.
that's-
If somebody, and this is why it's so great. If somebody in chat finds me like a player's handbook page number or a Dungeon Master's Guide or Xanathar's or whatever book, if you know where these rules are and you can find them for me, that'd be cool. We don't need them urgently, but I'm just curious because you are in Waterdeep. This isn't Chult, right? So there is a chance you can spend. I haven't played a D&D game in ages where the players are actually hurting for money. Where you're like, oh, we have so much we could spend it on, like our house, and we could buy stuff
Yeah.
and like. Yeah. So just if there is some guidance table, I feel like I've seen it, but also I've played a lot of role-playing games where like there's a lot of rules in my head, so I don't remember where the table is, but if somebody can find it, yeah. Cool. Okay. So anyway, you're going to head back to your house, back to Trollskull Manor.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. I don't know who. I guess it's 50-50 on who would arrive first. So I will flip a coin.
Do it.
One is Rin and 8. 2 is Makaria and Jewel. 2. Okay, Makaria and Jewel, you arrive home first, and when you get there, you spot a shadowy figure up on your porch, looking in the window. And this guy turns and he sees you and he runs off, or tries to.
Cool.
I hit a button and muted myself. She sees them and then dashes.
Yeah, you're gonna chase him down. Okay.
Climbs up the side of the building.
Okay. Sure. Make an athletics check.
Okay.
She's also got that extra dash, so she's pretty quick.
Yeah, make it with advantage.
And I don't need the climb. I also have the climb speed, so 17.
Okay. Yeah, I mean climbing won't super affect this because you're just chasing him.
Claws out, just digs them into the side of the wall.
Yeah. Okay. So you run after this guy. All right. Let me roll.
Also, there's information on spell casting services.
Yeah, I found that in the
which
SRV.
doesn't give us specific numbers.
It just says might cost. Why might?
Yeah.
Just tell me. Give me a number. I think the Dungeon Master's Guide probably has like better stuff, but it's fine. I don't need it right now. Okay, so so you catch this guy, you chase after him and tackle him in the street and knock him down, and he yelps like ah! And he falls in a puddle and filthy water splashes up in the air. And he's like, ah, get off me, get off of me, and like trying to push you away.
Why are you on our stuff?
What are you?
He was on the roof of
What are you
our
talking
place.
about, you maniac?
He's on the porch.
Get away
He's on
from
the
me.
porch.
Oh, yeah.
And so Makaria, you can walk up.
Yeah, I like very like trying
Why
to
are
be
you
cool. Trying to
why
be
are you
cool. I
here?
just like walk up and like I hear like Jewel questioning this guy. Yeah.
Like Jules already draws a dagger. Like, why are you here?
Do you have him pinned down and you draw a knife on him? Okay.
No, I think she's just like she knocks him back and then like moves back into sort of a defensive like.
Okay, so you let him stand up. Yeah.
Yes, she will
Okay.
let him stand up.
Gets
when he
up.
doesn't immediately attack her, she's like,
Yeah.
"What are you doing here?"
Gets up and brushes himself off, and he's like, "The nerve! How dare you? I'm soaked now. Ugh, this water's filthy. I'm going to send you my laundry bill."
No,
You haven't answered
well.
my question yet.
Hey, what? You accosted me in the street. You threw
No,
me
I
to the ground.
accosted you on our property.
What? What do you mean?
You're on our porch.
You were
This is
standing
our
on our
house.
porch. I cleared my throat to address you and you ran.
Yes, I was startled. Look at the two of you. You're terrifying.
Oh, thank you.
It's not
Whatever.
That's not what I meant. You look like common miscreants. I thought I was going to be robbed. Better safe than sorry, I always say.
Yes, well, when someone's standing on your porch peering in your window, I thought that we were being robbed. So there.
I didn't realize that it had become illegal in the city of Waterdeep to peer through someone's window from outside. And I'll have you know, it was my understanding this building belonged to Volothamp Geddarm, of whom I do not see, unless you two are thugs in his employ, which would not for a moment surprise me, given what I know about Geddarm.
Talking.
How dare you? How dare you?
There's the dagger at him.
Do I have silence?
And now you're
prepared?
threatening me?
No, I
Guards! Guards! And like someone nearby just looks up at the shouting of guards and is just like,
don't. Can you shut him up? Just cover his mouth. I don't want to touch him.
Just let us talk. Let us stop talking. Will you please stop talking?
well, put away the knife. There's no need to threaten me.
I will put away the knife and you will stop talking. And we will have a civil conversation.
It's going to be very difficult to have a conversation if I'm not allowed to speak.
I will start the conversation. Like the
So-
hair on her back of her neck and the
Yeah.
fur is like bristling.
So under
her
the-
ears start going flat. And she's
Yeah,
just-
under the moonlight, you can see this guy a little better. He is dressed like pretty nicely, though he is covered in puddle water now, and probably some horse poop. And he's got what was probably like a reasonably well coiffed like pompadour, but now it's all sort of deflated on one side. He's got a piece of hair hanging in his face. He has a goatee. He's pale skinned, like maybe taller than like average. And he's got an imperious air about him, and so he like kind of looks at you, and and so you've just told him like, shut up, I'm gonna talk. What do you say?
Jewel is going to exercise all 14 of her charisma right now and try not to stab him. We acquired Full Skull Manor in exchange for services from Vola. It is ours, and I believe it is referred to as trespassing when you're staring into someone's window, you peeping Tom!
He scowls and he says,
I'm trying to look very
What were you
threatening
doing?
behind Jewel.
make a roll of some kind. Make a persuade roll with advantage.
Can I be helping?
Yes, Makaria is
I'm
trying to help.
so intimidating
I mean, you're not.
Persuasion. Persuasion?
with advantage because
With
I'm really intimidating.
Oh, good.
All right.
16.
So he puts his hands up and he says, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that it had been occupied. You're not sleeping in that hovel, are you? My goodness, you'll get
your business.
fleas. Now,
Did he say fleas?
yeah, he said you'll get fleas.
Oh, she doesn't like that.
So he says, I'll have you know that you've just pushed Emic Froon in the mud. And he waits for you to be like,
You're not Emic Froon. Oh, you're Emic Froon. Sorry, I got you confused with all the floons that I've met recently.
yeah, and he's like, no, Floon Froon is my cousin, and he lives in Neverwinter, I'll have you know. I am
Sorry.
Emic Froon.
Floon's a really common name. Froon, slightly less so. So you're the one who's been trying to buy this?
I recognize this
hovel?
name. Like, what do we know?
I mean,
He was the one who was trying to purchase Trollskull Manor from Bolo.
Oh, right.
yeah, and he
Our
he's-
neighbors told us about him.
That's right. He says,
So you're the one that wanted to purchase this hovel.
yes, I was going to knock the filthy thing down and build a proper tavern in its place. Besides, I hear it's haunted.
And
But it doesn't
is
look like that
haunted.
would. And he says it doesn't look like that would bother you. He gives you a snide look.
So how
No,
much
it
were you
doesn't.
offering?
That's none of your business.
It is. We're the current owners of this property. How much were you offering?
I no longer wish to purchase it. Now that I see the caliber of people that own this place, you'll be run out of town in, I give you a week.
Well, considering I've lived here my entire life, I really doubt that. But sure.
You have lived here your whole life. I don't think so. Maybe you were permitted to dwell in the gutters of some monastery someplace. Did they let you sleep in the graves? Is that
Yule turns
You
around?
see, like Makaria does this, like, I'm gonna kill this guy look, and she like reaches out her hand and like, do you like hold her back?
Yeah, Jewel like takes her hand and just like, no, it's not worth it. And, like tries to lead her back to Trollskull Manor.
Yeah, so you like pull her back and she like sneers. And he says, yes, that's right. Go back to your hovel. I'll see it knocked down in a week. Or my name's not Emic Froon. Ha! I see I've had nothing to be frightened
Only
of.
one person's been knocked down today, and it was definitely you.
And don't think I won't remember. This is a very
Good.
expensive doublet.
Good.
Are you sure I can't kill him?
No, I'm not. But I think Rin would be upset, and we probably shouldn't kill him. 8 would be very happy, but Rin would be upset.
I haven't used any of my spell slots today.
See, this is the danger of magic spells where most of the spells are killing spells. It's like you get to the end of the day and like, why am I even a cleric? I have all these spells left over. Who don't I like? I will fireball you. Yeah.
I can't fireball. Clerics can't fireball.
Well, maybe you built the wrong type
Yeah,
of
you're the
cleric.
wrong. Listen, the clerics I know can, right? If you had 20 wisdom and were very wise, maybe you could throw a fireball or two.
Fuck off.
So, so you just
Anyway,
get
I
shouted
very
at.
nearly cast a spell to kill this guy, but I don't because Jewel said Rin would get upset.
Besides, we might actually get kicked out / arrested. She like looks around and sees like there are clearly people around. There would be plenty witnesses to a murder. Like, the trick to murder is to not be caught.
Sanctioned violence. He insulted me.
I don't think that's. I hate to disagree with you on this. I really don't think it's sanctioned.
Yeah, I mean, you
Again,
have you do
all
have the
crimes
law. You have the
don't get
law available to you. It's clear and obvious whether murder is legal or not. It's not. Spoiler warning. Yeah. So
Murder is not legal. But you know
spoiler
what?
alert: murder not good. Murder bad.
Anything's legal if you don't get caught. So
Damn.
add him to your list.
It's getting very long. I don't like it.
Use that. Use
We
it.
should really start on it. That horrible paladin from the bar.
You just start muttering the list to yourself.
Macaria's got a
I'm
shit
like
list.
Arya Stark right now. I'm just fucking like names. Well, he didn't have a name. Paladin from the bar.
Yeah. So okay. So you head back to the house and head up the stairs, and you're just gonna go inside.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just big greasy handprints on the dust of the like window where he was like peering
Ew,
between
greasy.
peering between the like gaps in the bars that were up there.
I still have some bottles of wine that I didn't give to Jewel and Rin, so I'm going to go into the bar and cast the Eyes of the Grave and toast with my buddy.
He's not your buddy though. Just because you can see him
Totally-
doesn't mean he's your
Totally
friend.
my buddy. He's my buddy.
No, that's
Gonna
not
be
how it
right
works.
back.
Makaria.
Drink with my ghost friend.
It's a one-sided friendship.
Right. I can see you, ergo you're my friend. Okay, we'll hear. So yeah, I mean, you want to go inside and have another drink at the crappy rundown bar that you
Our
own.
ghost bartender, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you do that. Jewel, you just want to go to bed?
She'll go to bed, but there will definitely be some brief treasure hunting.
Okay. All right.
I hope she finds another brooch. For sure, it's worth 2 gold pieces.
Make let's have you make a roll. I don't know what, like a survival, like as a rummaging roll. I don't. So we'll see how you do.
Survival.
I mean, yeah, like what? Because like there's no. Let me look at the skill list.
Investigation.
Yeah, I guess investigation. Like, because
There's no cleaning out your hoard
right.
roll.
Listen, I'm not gonna name any names, but I've played a role playing game recently where scavenging was a significant part of the game's rolling mechanisms, and we got some mileage out of that. So yeah, let's investigation smart. Yeah, that's a good one, Dave.
Oh, the die is rolling so slow on my end.
Yeah, you
17.
got a 17. Okay, let's have you roll. Let's see what you can find.
Roll that D100.
Yeah, roll that D100. Getting a lot of mileage out of this table.
61. Come on,
I'm
60.
so excited. 61.
I got distracted while I was writing. I wrote trinkle instead
4.
of trinket.
Trinkle.
Yeah, you find a big bottle of trinkle. What is it? I don't know. Okay, you find a what languages do you speak?
Undercommon and abyssal.
Wow,
And common.
Not what I
And
would have
Thieves'
expected. Here's a question: do Tabaxi have their own language? I mean, you don't speak it, so obviously you don't.
I don't think
No, it didn't specify. There's no Tabaxi language. I assume
So you're
they're
like halflings.
a series of yowls that have meaning, but there's no written language.
Some kind of yowl performed in the darkness. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're like a weird Underdark cat. So yeah, you speak the tongue of hell and of the Underdark, but yeah, you dig up a book and you don't. It's written in a language you don't understand. It's just a little journal, a little like chapbook.
Perfect.
Yeah,
She's happy.
yeah. Okay,
She goes to sleep holding the book.
okay. Right, yeah, not hell, the abyss. It's the other one.
Hold on.
Okay.
How many times can I cast this Eye of the Grave thing? A number of times equal to my wisdom modifier. 3 times.
So Makaria, you are at the bar. You've cast the spell. You have do you have cups? You don't. Do you? We
No,
talked
I'm
about
by
this.
myself. I have that one like piece of glass that contains and like it's probably got moldy whatever from the last time I shared a drink with this guy and I didn't clean it up.
Mhm.
So I just pour that on the ground and then I like fill it a little bit with fresh thing, but I'm just drinking out of the bottle.
Okay. All right. So the bartender appears when you cast your spell, and you drink out of the bottle. You set the bottle down, and he looks at you, just like eye contact with you, and he puts his ghostly hand up towards the bottle, and he just pushes it slightly towards the edge of the bar, and you just see it like skid across the bar.
Oh, so you can interact with objects like the door.
And he pushes it a little closer to the edge of the bar.
I put my hand on the bottle. I thought we were friends, Liv.
He breaks the bottle. He just smashes it, and it shatters. Like broken glass and wine all over you. And he snarls and then like floats away.
gonna kill him too.
Too late. So Rin and 8, you are outside when you hear a sudden, like you're walking up to the door and you hear a shattering inside. You're a glass break.
Yeah, I think there's a little more hurry once we hear like something break, like somebody threw something or whatever.
Yeah.
Like bust in through the front door and it's just Macaria.
You see Macaria sitting on one of the bar stools, dripping wine off of her vestments, and there's broken glass all over the place.
Oh, you're already back. I expected you to be a little longer. Trouble with the wine?
They didn't have my drugs. There was someone peeping in our house, and our ghost bartender broke my wine bottle. I'll be upstairs. I'm so mad.
Well, all right.
So,
I'm so mad.
Macaria, you turn around and you go to storm out. Can you make a dexterity saving throw?
No.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
I hate you.
Do trip here.
Okay, you stumble. You don't fall because you realize that someone has tied the laces of your boots together.
Ah!
So you're like, "Ugh," you almost fall. And then what do you do?
I cast the channel divinity turn undead.
Okay. What's the radius on that?
Like 30 feet or something.
All
I
right,
don't
it
remember.
doesn't do anything.
Yeah, well, I do it anyway.
Okay.
Out of spite.
Okay. And then what? Do you like take your boots off and walk barefoot outside and around upstairs? Or do you just like hop out of the room?
I think she like goes to try and take her boots off,
Mhm.
and then they're like tied really like
Mhm.
tightly together. And so she just like snarls and like forcibly kicks them off and like kicks them across the room and then storms upstairs barefoot. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good. So you leave. Rin and 8, you have returned home. Business as usual, it seems.
So what I was gonna do is Macaria is not having much luck with this ghost, but
Yeah.
maybe I'll have better luck.
Mhm.
I take the coins that I've got out of my I put my purse basically like on the counter,
Yeah.
and I can't see the ghost, so I like look around the room
Mhm.
and basically declare openly like I am going to make this place better, and I'm going to do it with the money that I make. Stop ruining it and enjoy that it will soon look suitable again and maybe be open again.
Make a persuade check. Make a persuade check.
I'm not terrible at this. Yeah,
You're
21.
definitely not terrible at it. Okay. All right. There is there's just like a faint, like there's quiet in the room, and you hear a squeak. Not like an animal squeak, but the squeak of something like on wood. And you look, the camera pans up, and you see one of the bottles on the shelf. It's an area you haven't gotten to get to clean yet. So the shelf's all dusty, and there's a bunch of broken bottles and stuff up there. One of the bottles has turned itself around on the bar on the shelf.
Can I like reach it?
Yeah, you walk over and take it down.
Go
Yeah.
over and take it down. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's full and still like corked. It's a bottle of some kind of brandy or something.
Are there any suitable cups? I sort of declare.
No, there isn't.
No. Well, never mind. Like try and uncork it, sort of thing.
Okay.
And then like again, sort of like offer it around the room because I have no idea where this ghost is. Right?
Sure.
And then just
No,
like
thank you.
and just like
I'm good.
none for you. take a little like drink of it just to show that like
Yeah, it's really
I don't know.
good.
they offered it to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right. Well, I'll take that as a sign that we can work together.
I had an idea.
Oh yes?
You have to walk out of the front door to get to the back. I could knock down that wall there, and we could go straight to the staircase.
I think it's best we not mess with the structural walls on the outside of the building.
The other one worked fine.
Yes, but the chimney was nearby to it. I think that probably helped. But I'm no architect, and neither are you. I think we leave that to the professionals.
I'll ask someone.
Feel free.
Okay, cool. So the rest of the night goes uneventfully, with everyone eventually finding their way to bed, or its equivalent. So the next day, you wake up, meet with your friends down in the tap room of this new house, and set out for what do you bring with you on your little trek up Mount Waterdeep?
Water and rations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Do we need to consume another ration for today? Or do we
I
get...
take my climber's kit.
Yeah, you do. You do need to consume more rations because you don't have a source of like food.
Oh, I'm so
I need to
hungry.
go buy some.
Get out of here, Dave.
Oh.
Oh, you have to eat? Mm.
So that stuff, and of course, Rin is not dressed for climbing. She's dressed for meeting some important person.
Right?
She's gonna go and talk to you.
I love that idea that like you're the person that shows up for the mountain climb in like high heels. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
When we get to the top, I gotta look good.
Exactly that. She's got like a fancy cloak on, and it's all like, it's very unsuitable, like her outfit in general, like for climbing.
Yeah.
Assuming there's gonna be some kind of path,
Yep.
Got her like violin case.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Not appropriately attached, but 8 has the like ropes and pitons and pitons. I'm never gonna be able to pronounce that word properly.
I think it's
Python. I don't know. It's not gonna be in the pronunciation guide.
Pythons?
Pythons.
Yeah, you don't want to bring pythons. That's. I got my climbing pythons.
I think it is pronounced. I think it is pronounced pitones.
Petan, I think. I am all about those Chilton climbing pythons though. That's badass. That's a thing.
Wasn't that in Law 3? As a rope snake.
Yeah. Okay. Climbing nails. Big climbing nails. You want to head out?
Our climbing poutines.
Trust me, poutine does not help you climb walls at all. It doesn't.
I hope that I get to
so
kill
I think-
someone
I
today.
think we head out towards the mountain.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you head for Mount Waterdeep. So it is not a particularly long trek to get there. But I want to know like what your angle of approach is here, because if we look, I'll bring everybody down here. There's you got some options for the mountain, right?
Do we know where the cave is?
No, that's the other thing.
Is this an entrance?
That's the castle. That's Castle Waterdeep.
So it looks like over here the cliffs are a little flatter.
You might want to head down.
Or we could go
here.
the cliffside walkway up by Blackstaff Tower and just go along those cliffs. Or there's a trail right there too.
Yeah.
We are going specifically to the area, or do we not know exactly where
We're
we're
on
going?
some cave.
Yeah.
So
there's
here's
some
the
cave
thing.
up on
If we
there.
go from Troll Skull Alley, where we start, all the way to where the wall is on the cliffside, there's a whole path along the wall that would take us on the backside of the mountain. So we wouldn't have to wander around the city as much, encounter humans.
Yeah, let me see what you know about. I wonder if the area is in here particularly.
So we take Delzorian Street all the way across.
It looks like more like if we go from Delzorin Street to the high road and then go across Jolthun Street, it hits right where the cliffside walk is.
So Peak Top Airy is the headquarters for the Griffin mounts of the city guard.
Rad.
So if you take the Griffin from Stranglethorn, this is where you dismount when you get to Waterdeep. Yeah.
Okay. Can
Yeah,
we,
I mean, I'm with you.
can we kidnap a small child
I
and
think
then
walking
feed them
along
to
the
the
cliffside
griffin?
is a good plan.
That seems like a terrible idea.
I think
But then also, yeah, capturing a griffin.
I think the cliffside is a good plan. Yeah.
If we find any small animals or children, we should capture them and feed them to the griffin.
So you want to come in.
I did a path for you, Adam.
Nice. Okay, let me take a look. Dave is plotting it out. There you go. It's only
That's a couple miles.
It's only 15,000 feet. Okay. So yeah, because the entrance point on that path is you
It's
come
at
in
the-
off Jolthune, past the
Yeah.
Field of Triumph, and then
Yeah.
up along the cliff. Okay, this is gonna be like an all-day hiking operation. It's a good thing it's not like
that's
full
only
on.
like 3-4 miles,
No,
right?
it's not full on summer yet.
A mile is 5,000 feet or something.
Yeah, it's like some. I don't know. I'm from Canada. I don't know how many kilometers it is.
What is exhaustion?
Yeah. So you set out and
5,200.
and
Yeah.
begin heading off on your eventual trek up Mount Waterdeep. And so I think before we take our second break, that's the shot, right? Is that we see the mountain, we see the city all like laid out, the sun, like you get a fairly early start, so the sun is still just coming up over the city, and you are heading off to climb the mountain to go and meet the monk that dwells atop it. So we'll start that when we get back. Don't go anywhere. Taking a short break, and then we're going to climb that mountain. Be right back.